Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Luke91, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a quick little ranking of how I rate all of the characters you can play in Smite. In ranked Conquest, this is not for your pros, this is not for your really bad players either. This is for your mid-tier, run-of-the-mill, probably bronze-ish to, I don't know, platinum players. I was platinum 2 last season, and just going to go by what I've seen so far in this season and try to rank them. I'm going to rank them from SS down to D. I know a lot of people just kind of avoid putting them at the very ends, but I think all the gods are relative to each other. So, like, we'll get a baseline of where is he? Robin. Where's Robin? Well, Ratatasker's the worst. Pretty obvious to me. So we'll put Rat at the bottom, and I just saw him. Well, there he is. There's Robin. We'll put him at the very top. So I honestly think right now that Robin's overpowered as crap. So I'm going to put him at the very top, and I'm going to put Ratatosker at the very bottom. Obviously, for any of these, if you're really bad at playing Robin, you can go down. You basically go down one. If you're really good at playing Ratatosker, you may go up one. But I honestly don't think it'll fluctuate all that much. I mean, obviously you can go 0 and 10 with Robin if you're bad enough. But anyways, we'll continue on. I think that so I'm just gonna go one by one now. I think that Agni's good. I don't think he's as good as he used to be, but I do think he's pretty good. Amu's and Cobb, not all that great for an ADC to be quite honest. A lot of the solo laners is one of the easier things for me to rank because I do like playing solo lane the most. I think Bakasura. I think Bakasura is pretty good. People don't give him much credit. I'm kind of biased because I love Bakasura, but I think he's actually pretty good. And then of course you have Bellona. Where is she? Bellona's pretty good too. We'll put Bellona. I'd put her at the, I don't know, Baka maybe one below Bellona. And let's see who else. Chalk, unfortunately, he's just not in the meta. He's good, he's not great, so I'm just going to put him down there. Hercules, I just don't like Hercules. I don't play him. I think he's really easy to counter and beat the crap out of, so I'm just going to put him there. I think, honestly, Chalk's better, but it really depends on who you play better. Tyr's good. I think Tyr's one of the better solo laners. Like early game, he's a little bit hard, but late game he's just so beneficial. So I think he's easily the same tier as Bellona. Chang'e, I'd have to say, is another A. Once again, I mean, if you're really good with playing her, I can outplay a tier all day with a Chang'e, but it really depends on the people playing. I'm not gonna rate Amaterasu because she's not in the game, not in ranked yet, so I'm just gonna ignore her for now. Who else is in the solo lane? I know I'm missing somebody. We'll get back to it. Ao Kuang, another one of those really OP gods. He'll come out of nowhere and just destroy you in seconds. Loki, I think, is up there. I think he's an A+ god. I think he can be played up to S+, but I honestly don't think he's all that great unless you really know how to play him. He just doesn't really contribute that much to team fights. Once again, unless you really know how to play him. I think Thor is one of those pretty high ranked one as well. Who else? Let's see. Afro, I think, is kind of out of it, honestly. I don't like Afro. I'm putting her... Well, honestly, a lot of these I'd put a little lower. I mean, they're just not that good. You can't compare a Hercules to a Ratatosker at the same time, so we're putting them kind of relative to what lane they play. Sun Wukong, I'm going to have to go with the same thing. He's just not in the meta right now, if you ask me. Same thing with Odin. They're good. They're just not great. Soul is another one of those ones that's pretty freaking OP. You let a Soul through, you may have a difficult game. You let an Ao Kuang through, you may have a difficult game. You let a Ravana through, it's basically over. Athena, I'd also say, is one of those. She's good. It's gonna be a tough game if you're playing against a decent one, but you can still beat him. You can definitely still beat him. Geb is her counter. I lift Geb right below her. Because Geb's good. He's very good. He's not as good as her, but he's definitely good. Same thing with Khepri is definitely in the same tier as Athena too. If Khepri's able to really use his ultimate right and shield his carries well, then I mean he's just top tier for sure. Kumba I actually think is pretty good right now. Kumba's got a lot of potential. He can really shut down a solo lane if you solo him. It's a little risky. But you can really shut down any aggressive solo laner like a Bakasura or a Loki or anyone like that. You can really make them have a tough time. Vimana, that's one I missed. Vamana, I'd say, is probably on the same level as Tyr. He's actually got a decent amount of stuff. He doesn't have as much crowd control late game, but he's very annoying if you can play him right. Serket's good. She's not great. She's good. If you let her through, it's a tough game, but I mean, it's not over. Hunbots is a good one. I'd say he's on the same level as Thor. He may be one up from Thor, but I haven't seen that many good ones in this meta. Let's see. Osiris. That's another one. I mean, a lot of people say Osiris is still really good. Once again, I don't really play Osiris all that much, and I haven't seen that many good ones. But I'm gonna have to give him the same level as probably Ibaka and Shanga, because he's strong. He's not the best, but he's definitely strong. You got to give him that. Who else maybe played? Hebo. I'd say he's down here with them. He's just not that good. I mean, Hercules, I think the reason to put him so low is he can just get countered so easily. You put Ibaka into him, you just destroy him. Let's see. Hades, kind of the same thing. I just don't think he's in the meta. Maybe he's okay. Still put him in the A range, but he's okay. He's just not great. Kabrakan. That's another one of those really bad ones. I'll put him down in the C. I won't quite put him in the D range with a Ratatoskr. He's his own category of bad, but he's definitely not good. Same thing with Alpois. I don't think he's that good. He doesn't do as much damage as a lot of the other mages do. I mean, Anubis is even better than him. I'd say he's B. He's not that good, but I mean, he has potential to do damage if you know how to play him. Scylla's a pretty good one. Scylla's definitely at least A plus range. Same thing with Isis is probably S minus. Janus, I'm hesitant to put him in this range, but I do think Janus is just as capable of these as these. Poseidon, probably same thing here. And obviously, I mean, you could adjust these all down too if you hate how I put them at the very highest rank. I mean, a lot of people leave it open, but I mean, why would you leave it open? Because it's the worst and the best. Obviously, maybe I don't know what that means, and maybe that means something else, but you could obviously adjust those accordingly. Kyron, that's another really good one. A lot of people don't think he's that great, but every game I've seen him play in, as far as the mid-tier games go, he's very strong. He's just very, very strong. Neith is very strong too. She's not as strong as Kyron, but she was definitely very strong. X-Ball? No. I've had a glitch where I can't basic sometimes, so I just don't like him right now. But honestly, he's still good. He's just not very good. Probably not as bad as Amus and Cobb, but he's not good. Uhl, okay. Not great, but okay. Cupid, I'd probably say same thing. He's okay. He's not great, but he's definitely okay. Medusa, she's pretty good. Rom is definitely good too. I'd say he's equal to Medusa. A lot of the ADCs are also preference. They're not quite as overpowered as some of the other ones. Like maybe he shouldn't go quite that high. We got Kronos. Kronos can be played well if he's in the right hands. It's very, very specific on that though. He's good, but only in the right hands. Hu Yi is good too. He's very good as well. Nuwa, very, very solid mage. Kukulkan, not really that strong. Vulcan, not really strong at all. Zhong Kui, he's pretty strong if you can play him right. But he's also, I don't think he's top tier. I don't know, both of these maybe should be moved down. I think I put a little bit too many up in this range right here. A lot of them probably do deserve to be kicked down a little bit. I may readjust it once I finish the video, so feel free to click the link to see if I readjusted it. I mean, he's good. He's not great. Probably the same as Ymir. And Jing Shen. I just don't think he's that great anymore. Yeah, I'll go ahead and move a few of these down because I mean I don't think all of these need to be up here. Because I mean they're good, they're just not S minus range. Nual's good. Tier's good. And I'm rating these per lane, by the way. The tier doesn't necessarily mean he's better than a Scylla. I mean, you can't really compare them that much because they're ADC versus. I mean, there's a mage versus a solo. So we got Fenrir. I'd say he's good. He's definitely higher tier. Don't quite think he's up there though. Raw, just I mean, I think Raw's a very very basic mage. I just don't think he's that strong. Zeus, I'll give him that, but I mean, Zeus is strong. He just doesn't have the mobility he used to. I mean, Hell's kind of fallen out of the meta. Ares, strong if you can play him right. Very strong if you can play him right. Same with all the gods, but I mean, him in particular. Guan Yu, I think's fallen to the chalk level. Sobek's still pretty good. He's still pretty good. Same thing with his Ares. Definitely no Geb or Athena, but he's good. Apollo, I think he's a pretty strong AD carry right now. Definitely equal to Rom and Medusa. Artemis, not very strong anymore. On her, same thing. He's good, not great. Freya, I haven't really seen very many good Freyas. I'll give her mediocre, but I'm not going to give her high. Bacchus, I think he's just kind of fallen off. I'll give him. I mean, the Guardians don't vary that much. There are some really good ones, but there's no necessarily bad Guardians besides Kabrakan and Hades, of course. But you don't play them as Guardians, really. Mercury, he's good. You play him right, of course. Nija, Nemesis. Nemesis is okay. I just haven't seen very many good ones. Thanatos. Nox is pretty good. Haven't seen many Noxes, but she's definitely good. Ragni I'm starting to see a little more. Haven't seen too many good ones yet. Willix I think is kind of a hidden gem a little bit. I think she's good. Bastet, I just don't like Bastet this season, honestly. I haven't seen any good ones, and I haven't thought of a way to play her well yet. And Kali is the final one. I'll give her mid tier, but to be honest, I don't want to. But I think a lot of people do say she's strong, so I'll concede that point to him. But this is basically my overall list. I mean, I think Robin is so high above everybody else. Unless you have one of these gods in here, you don't really have too much of a chance of fending him off. Or if you can just play really well one of these gods in the other S range, then you can probably beat him, but you got to be playing pretty well. Well, maybe Vamana shouldn't be quite this high, neither should Bellona. So I do think Tier's late game is worth being that level. I mean, then we have Alquang, Sol, Athena, and Khepri. Khepri can keep people in fights really well. Athena can travel halfway across the map, well, the entire length of the map actually, in an instant, as well as taunt for ridiculous periods of time. Sol spits out damage. He has ridiculous execute. He's basically a Loki Thanatos. Geb's strong. He's very good counter to Athena. Serket's good if you can play her well. Janus is very good and quick and sly. Then we have Neith. Neith is strong as well. She's got a very strong very strong abilities, especially early game. Chiron's got an amazing chase. I mean, he could run someone down and kick him behind him, then tear him apart before they have a chance to do very much at all. Especially if they're retreating. That's really especially because everyone retreats at least once in a game usually. Then we have Tyr. I think his late game is definitely worth it. His early game is a little bit hard to play, but if you can play him well, his rotates are really strong. Thor, very strong rotates as well. Hunbat's great objective control. Medusa, just kind of strong. Rom, very strong, good at securing kills. Huyi, pretty strong, nice area of effect, team combat kind of thing. Nuwa, great for picking off people and does a ridiculous amount of damage and stun with her minions. Then Fenrir could pull people under towers and does decent with his brutalize. He can really stick to people really well. That's one of his good things. And we have Mercury. Mercury's strong. Not perfect. It's pretty strong. If he hits like a freaking truck late game, if you can get there. Not very strong early though. Apollo, extremely strong early. Great split pusher. Same thing with Loki. Very very semi-strong mid game. And late game for killing squishy people. Great split pusher. Changa, I mean, she's just got a very decent. She's not really a hyper carry at all, but she does do a pretty reasonable amount of damage late game, as well as being able to get the heals on everybody. And I know healing's a little bit out of the meta, but she's pretty good. Bakasura, he can shred people. He's not his former glory of Season 2, where the invades were amazing, but I think he is pretty good. He's definitely not as bad as he was at the end of Season 2. Osiris, I don't really play on that much. I think he's pretty good, though. Isis, her 2 is incredible, and her ult's incredible for objective control as well as team fights. Agni, his ultimate, you can just spam it. Chronos, hard to get him killed if you can play him right. Scylla does ridiculous damage. Ull, I mean, kind of run of the mill. 80 carry. Sylvanas is okay. Cupid's got a decent ultimate. Ymir's got a pretty good CC. Honestly, now his early game potential is a little bit debuffed because of that beads, but late game he's still very strong because beads now has a longer thing. Same thing with Ares. Ares has a little bit more trouble early game because they can, unless he can get his ult on them twice pretty quickly, they'll get their beads back up in time. So you just got to remember that if you're gonna be aggressive, you have to do it twice quickly because they're gonna have beads if you're playing Ares. But late game, the beads debuff is really good for him. Vamana's just pretty strong overall. Very hard to kill. Same with Kumba. Very hard to kill. Xingshan, I think he's just okay. Honestly, I don't think he deserves to be that high, but I know some people can disagree. His ultimate's incredible. Great knockup. Great ultimate. Owilix, great mobility. Arachne, not quite that much of a fan of, but she's still pretty good. Sobek, solo Beck for the win. Artemis, yeah, no. On her, he's okay. He's got a decent early game. Nijat's got a great ulti. Great for taking somebody out of a team fight and get your team set up under him. Thanatos has got your execute for you. Nox has great damage with her 2-1 combo. She's also got a good escape, which is always nice. And her ultimate, that ticking damage, and if you hit it before a fight instead of after a fight, it actually does really well as well. Kali can't die for a period of time. Bologna, very, very strong early. Bacchus, he's okay. He's got a decent knockup. He's not great, though. Chalk, his 1 does a decent amount of damage. He's just not as good as he used to be. Sun Wukong, once again, I mean, he got nerfed. Odin, he does a lot of damage early, but late, it's kind of hard to really play him well. Hades is pretty good. He's got a decent ultimate, but yeah. X-Ball, I love X-Ball, but he's just not good right now. Zonkwe, good ultimate, good ultimate. Raw, great pusher. Guan Yu, he's got that heal that helps. I don't really play Guan Yu all that much. Artemis, she's got a good, decent ultimate, but she's got no escape. That's one of the reasons I put her here, because she just can't get out of bad situations. Well, she can pop ulti and run, but still, people got beads now. And then Bastet, she's okay. She's got cats, but once again, people have beads. They can probably get away. Xingshan's pretty good. He's got a good ultimate, and he does a decent amount of damage. His HP per 5 actually helps a lot, too. The reason I put these guys down here is because Hell was good. I just don't think healing's quite in the meta right now. I could be very wrong. That's why I put both of these down here. I mean, healing's always good. Don't get me wrong at all on that. I mean, healing, they actually debuffed Curse and whatnot to where it's no longer destroys healing. But I just don't think we're in that meta right now. I could be wrong, but I just don't think we are. Vulcan's, I mean, he's okay. He's just not as great. Doesn't do as much burst damage as these guys. It's very easy to avoid his ultimate too if you're not careful. Amus and Cobb's got no escape, none at all. At least Artemis can pop her hog and hope for the best. Amus and Cobb's just kind of screwed. Hebo, way too squishy. Anubis, very easy to catch. He's got no escape. He's got a bind and an ultimate that'll hurt. But if you group up on him well, he's done. Cabrakan, Alpois, and Ratatosker, I don't even think those deserve a conversation. I know I've seen a couple things where Alpois was in mid tier, but he's way too squishy and way too easy to blow up, and he's got nothing to escape. He can stand in the middle of his ultimate, but his ultimate honestly doesn't hurt that much unless they build him really well. And even then, I can't imagine it hurt that much early game. Anyways, guys, that's basically my list. I know I've kind of ranted a little bit about it, and I've said these guys are good if you play them well. I realize that's a very generic thing to say, But that's basically how the game is. They try to make it balanced to where there's no one overpowered. But that'd be my guess as to where the gods fall. I think it's pretty even. You're supposed to have most people mid rank, and as you go up further, you get less and less OP gods both directions, or I mean OP and less really bad. I call that the bell curve for those of you who know what I'm talking about. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe for. I'd love to know your thoughts on my ranking list. But once again, thanks for watching. Link to it will be in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.